What I want to show you is the ecliptic. Let me just show you how I got my numbers. Get rid of the Milky Way and turn on the Ecliptic Grid. I go with this J2000. I'm not sure if there's a big difference. And now with the grid, you can see the 0 is there, and you can see the different constellations along the ecliptic. Although, like for example, Scorpius is actually going down 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 20 degrees south. Well, I wouldn't say south, but below the ecliptic line. And see Sagittarius, while it also is down below, it also is above. So 0 is right there. You know, you have to trust me. I got these numbers. And basically you click on this star of Capricorn and you can get the ecliptic longitude, and that's where I got this number. So it added up really nicely. I was really lucky because I didn't have to try very hard to get to these numbers here. And as you see, if you look at this, I had to account for some empty space, and I did, and I got a total of 37 degrees empty space. Now I could put that numbers over here under each one. The first one, the empty space, maybe I can put it right here. Aquarius, the empty space between Aquarius and Capricorn is about 1.5 degrees. So I could put that in there, and then the next one, it's actually a lot more, 5.5. And this, I actually used the formula to get these totals, and I was really lucky to get the total I started with, which was from Wikipedia. Basically, the length of a great year and the number of years. This is 3, 3, 5, 4, 1, 10, actually, pretty much. Now this one is very close. I'm going to put 0.01 just to kind of prove that it's really close. I don't really know for sure. And this 1 is the next one. So yeah, it's from what I changed the Pisces number to 2020, although it does total out to 2935. But I wanted to use this chart to calculate backwards to find out Leo. Now most of you may know that I'm interested in the Sphinx, and when it was possibly the Sphinx, because it was the Leo in the equinox. Now this year here, it was Leo is a big long constellation, so it actually takes 2,700 years to complete it. This is the total number of years for one constellation. As you can see over here, the longest one is Virgo, then Pisces is the second longest one. That's one we're in right now. Taurus is quite long, and by the way, these are the number of degrees. I had to round it out, especially for this chart, especially right here. I rounded it up so I wouldn't rely on this too closely, but these numbers are close. Taurus and Leo, they're both 2,700 years. Actually, Taurus is closer to 2,800 years. Now the empty is the empty space. That's 2,600 years of empty space. Sagittarius is 2,000 years. Now the shorter ones, Cancer is only 716. We can take this and we can get a total, and you'll see that my sum is actually right on the money at 25,772. And I don't know how I did that. I got really lucky. I guess I just did it right the first time. I took it slow. It took me a while to figure out the stellarium. So this number here, by the way, if you look at this number, and I change it to 220, then the total changes to 24,857. So this total is for 220, but the total number of Pisces, again, is 2,900 years, 35. These are actually, I still wouldn't bet my life on any of these numbers because I don't trust stellarium, and I can talk more about that later. But I was really happy when I got 360 degrees, total degrees added up. Like for example, the empty, I could have rounded it up a different direction, but because I rounded it following the rules, I got 360. I'm really proud of myself, and I got 25,772, and then I changed the 220 because I wanted to count backwards from today back to Leo. Now this number 10969 is the beginning of Leo, so the end of Leo is about there. However, remember we have these numbers here, so when we talk about this Leo to Cancer, it's actually 10 degrees more. So there's a total of 10 empty degrees in there, so probably would have to add it there. But I'm not really worried about that because I'm not interested in getting the big numbers, the small numbers. I'm interested in getting the big number, which is, let's say, when did the age of Leo begin? And wouldn't that be when they built the Sphinx? Now, we know that the Sphinx was, they say, recarved. I totally disagree with that terminology. I never, ever agreed with the terminology recarved because it's very clear that the limestone is not what the head's made of. So the head was covered with ancient cement. And that ancient cement, actually, how old could it be? Well, I think that they redid that according to mainstream history when Khafre, the king in the Middle Pyramid, was buried there. I think that's when they recarved. And maybe the Sphinx fell apart. Maybe the lion's head that I believe it was. Some people think it's Anubis or a goat, but I don't, because we all know it's the body of a lion. And we also can see other examples of lions being recarved into sphinxes. So, with this idea in mind, with the Khafre pyramid being dedicated to Khafre and recarving the head of the Sphinx in what was that, 4,000 years ago, 4,200 years ago, that would have been in the age of Taurus, maybe Aries, but probably in the middle of Taurus. So they don't care about the lion anymore. But back in Leo's time, that would have been 258 to 10,000 years ago. So basically 8,000 years ago is the end of Leo. I don't think anybody's going to carve a Sphinx at the end of the age. I think they're going to do it in the middle or at the beginning of the age. So look at the number for Leo. It's 10,969. Round that up to 11,000 years ago. Now if you add another, and by the way, Robert Schoch is not necessarily against it going back another great year, then you've got 35, basically 36,772, but a little bit different. So add this number to that number, and you could go back even farther. I'll put that here because I was not wondering about that number. So as you can see, I'm really happy with my information here. Let me just add this here. I click it. Okay, there. So the age of the Sphinx is anywhere from 11,000 to 10,000 to maybe 8,000 years ago to 36,000 if it went one more great year. Now that's the end of it, right? So you would have a little bit more. You probably could have 2,000 years, 34,000 years ago. How old do you think that the dilapidation on the limestone looks? Don't even bother looking at the head. The head is not part of the equation. We're talking about the body. The ancient cement that they put on the Sphinx 2,000, and actually it's 4,000 years ago. Is the Sphinx older than the pyramids? I forgot, according to mainstream history. But we all think it's much older. Now, there's a lot of other things we can learn from this, but my main goal was the Leo number because of the Sphinx. However, you can take a look at my numbers, and I'm interested in sharing it. If you want it, I can probably put the link down below. But at this point in time, I think I'll just wait for comments, and then I'll share it later. So that's about it. I don't think I have anything else more to say about this. Let me see if there's any comments in the YouTube. Where is the YouTube? There's the YouTube. Any comments? I don't think we have comments. So there's no comments. Let me, does that mean there's no comments? Let me just kind of redo it, see if anything popped up. Nope. So nobody has any questions. I'm just going to go ahead and use this for my reference for now. As you can see, there's my numbers up, so it's a successful video. I got my numbers online. And I think these numbers were hard to get. It's not like you can just Google them as easily as one would think. So yeah, I'm trying to do timelines. I was thinking about this timeline, but you're supposed to pay for it. I'm looking at other history of the world videos. This one's 2.5 hours. It's probably focused on the creation of the world. So I don't think I'm going to be watching that. I'll close it now. History of the world every year. These types of videos kind of turn me on, but there's no way I can finish it in one sitting. So this is China Uncensored, talking about flooding in China. And here's a paper that I'm reading on the Sphinx that apparently was written by, I'll go to the top, Graham Hancock and this guy Robert Bauval. And I am interested in kind of focusing on, because he's done so much research, I want to go through it again and find out where they stand on these years and see if I can match up any years that I've found by myself. Because, when we got these statements about Leo possibly being why the Sphinx is facing east, that's the east equinox, right? So we're talking about the statue of the lion facing the equinox. And when was it built? Was it going to be built during the age of Cancer or Taurus? I mean, maybe if the lion was really important, but I think that we're talking about the ages. And by the way, Pisces starts on year 0, really. Now, I added 220 because I want to know how many years ago from our existence now. But if you want the year 0, there is no year 0 in stellarium. It's year 1. And apparently, I heard just today, Jesus was born 4 BC. Okay, whatever. Let's see. So let's find out. They gave him a year of 1. It's the year of the Lord. So we're in the year of the Lord 2020, right? So Pisces is also the beginning of that. So Jesus would be 2020 years old right now. Any other questions? Please leave your comments below. I am curious about your feedback. And that's it for now. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. It's nighttime in Taipei. Bye-bye.